Dude, luck is dude, it is such a skill. It's like, sometimes you're just really good at fantasy football and sometimes you just suck, and that's just like Pokemon. It's all about gambling, except we're gambling on pixels and hitting toxics. Am I right? Welcome back to the PR podcast. It's your boys, the Wonder Twins, back again. We're going to talk about Mons as usual. We're on this is week 8. So next week
we've been
we have
advanced for 2 months now. Oh my gosh.
I know. So we got the free agency episode next week. So it'll be very exciting. All the new stuff coming in. We'll have lots to talk about, but for now, we're going to get into our first set. This set was funny, but it was quite good. So we got Hall versus Ernest, both players playing super well right now. So we're going to get into it. We're going to see Jolteon and Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is not named Beatmon Butt, and it's very upsetting.
I know. It's our new league favorite. As soon as he hit the field, everyone was like, it's Beatmon Butt!
Yeah.
But in this case, he's just Hitmonchan.
That's true. He doesn't have an identity. So we see Earthquake, which is definitely not a common move on Hitmonchan, but hey, you know what? It works out. So Blastoise
Yeah, it's a good
just
move here.
bounces off.
Jolteon on the lead, of course.
Yeah, of course. So there's our first Toxic Miss. For those who are going to keep count, there's a few of them.
Do not play a drinking game with this.
Do not, no. That one doesn't count.
No. This is funny I've been thinking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is for both people with Blastoise. Blastoise is one of the only spinners that actually gets a status healing move in Refresh.
Yeah.
And maybe he never has the chance to fit it on his set, but the amount of times I've seen Blastoise get toxic over these last 2 months makes me think maybe they should consider whether or not.
Especially when you're going against a team like Ernest doesn't have spikes, so like you don't need spin. So like maybe Refresh might be worth throwing on there. Anyway, Gengar comes in, and Houndoom comes in right after, and then gets chipped, and then Gengar's like, I'm out of here. So a little trade here, and I'm sure Hall is definitely cool with that.
Yeah, I think it's like Houndoom did his job there technically.
Yeah.
Just with a little extra side effect of also going down.
True. Yeah, it's a good 2-for-1. Anyway, Espeon is here. We got a little sub-Call Mind war going on. And for now, Jinx is able to handle the Call Minds. But eventually, not so much. And this Jinx is kind of a sitting duck at the moment. As Espeon just continues to boost. Because now, Ice Beam's not going to break sub.
No. And at some point, Hall, I believe, had Lovely Kiss and could have tried to go for it, but
Right
and
there.
he did there.
Yeah.
But it's always hard to see, like, will it sub, will it not sub? And I know Ernest right now has got to be excited that Houndoom isn't here and he can pass away these boosts no problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And now that's the scariest one I've ever seen.
Yes, now Suicune is here, and just to kind of summarize, this game is over. Pat can't break through the Suicune. Matang is coming in, and he's going down, and we're going to go on to game 2. Wow. So, really well executed by Ernest. He just said, I have an opportunity to set Suicune up to kill people, and he did it. So, well done in that regard. Hall quickly learning that he cannot do the sub-Call Mind stuff against Espeon. He cannot win that 1v1 because Suicune is waiting in the back to take him out.
God, imagine giving Suicune not having to waste 4 turns setting up Call Minds and whatnot.
True.
Way scarier.
Yeah, so this turn 1 goes similarly but different. Hitmonchan is ready. Alright, Blastoise coming in. I'm going to be on the Toxic. So Hall just goes for sub. He says, you know what? Bet, do it. And he gets the right read. So now it's free T-Bolt chip. 45% is quite nice. We do see the confirmation of leftovers, which is expected, right? We've seen Toxic, we've seen Earthquake switching moves, so it's not banded.
No, for sure not banded. And a funny double there by Ernest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he sees he's like, you know what? I'm gonna get Chansey and just kind of be fat and stupid. And Pat misses another Toxic. So that's 2. That does so much damage. Boom, Suicune is at 15%, and we all know what that means. Bye-bye. Thanks for playing. So, really good 2-for-1 Matang definitely did his job there.
Oh, yeah. If Matang ever takes out Suicune,
yeah.
I mean, your life is... Go play the lottery. You've just won.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, you've done what you've needed to do. And Pat's just like, thank God that Suicune didn't sub.
Yeah, Yeah, I was wondering if it would be Subkun this week. In general,
Number 3.
I always love Subkun. I've never seen either Suicune player run off Subkun this season, but maybe one of these days.
I think David's run it, but again, it's a little bit tricky with his team because, Sandteal.
And there's a terrible roar target out for Blastoise, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he does get to see that it is Raichu.
Right.
Because up until now, we hadn't seen. So, really cool double here. I like that a lot from Ernest. He says, you know what, anything you go into, I got you down right here.
It also functions as a pretty decent check to Blastoise anyways, so it's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas Hall had to make the play of whether or not that Raichu would go for Thunderbolt or maybe even T-Wave, expecting a switch. And that Hitmonchan is dead. Thank you, Baton Pass. Very cool.
Yes, very cool. And then Pat misses a lovely kiss. So he's been missing every single status move. And there's another one for good measure.
Good measure,
so
yeah.
Ernest has been very, very, very lucky with those misses.
I will say, though, looking at the field right now...
Another
one. Another one. Jinx is actually in a really great position if it can get safely behind a sub again, because nothing wants to come in and take a hit, and Chansey will just get put to bed.
Mm-hmm.
If he hits it, of course.
Of course, yeah, that seems to be the issue. So here's Houndoom. Houndoom's going to take care of Gengar now.
Right.
So Ernest just says, you know what? That's fine. It is what it is.
Paul loves to hit Crunch instead of Pursuit when he knows he can take a hit.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to just go for that damage, and now he has that Houndoom for later, which is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So good play by Hall.
Especially for Espeon here, who eats his Ice Beam.
You call that eating?
He ate that.
Bro, he can't call mind again. He'll die. But now we got Espeon behind a sub who probably doesn't have a move to hit Houndoom, which is pretty funny.
So we're going to see the Crunch actually break Chansey's sub, because again, that is based off of Espeon's HP.
Fair enough.
Blastoise coming back in, knows he can't get Toxic because he already is, and it actually hits one. Please clap for Blastoise. He did it.
Yay.
So now they're just throwing Toxic. What is Toxic? Like, I always thought that, like, since every Mon, like, learns Toxic, it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's like, here, I'm going to throw my shit at you. Now you're poisoned.
I have to imagine every single Pokemon just has, like, their own little toxic orb in their pocket or something. They just yuck that at them.
Or they just, like, puke and they're just like, bleh.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blastoise goes down. Raichu goes down. And at this point, Doug Trio is going to clean this one up nicely.
We're going to check to see how much HP that does. That is over 50 to Chansey. And an interesting Toxic by Chansey that turn.
Yeah, so this Toxic, as we later find out, was to hide some technology that Chansey has. Ernest, knowing that this game is over, just said, you know what? I'm going to save it and just kind of throw it in the towel.
Actually, was it over? Because, like, he does his technology, I believe, later on is counter, right? And if he counter kills that Doug Trio, I think Chansey can pull it out versus the back three.
You know, he might be able to. I mean, especially with Jinx, because then you could put it to bed and you could kind of, dick around with it a little bit. So maybe we'll see an interaction like that in Game 3. Hint,
possibly.
hint. Who's to say, truly?
But,
so here we go. Are we going to see the Toxic again? No. Ernest says, no, you're not going to fool me. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. No, fool me 3 times, nah.
Paul has not revealed that he has a flying type, if I remember correctly. So these Earthquakes are pretty safe to just throw off for damage.
Yeah, Weezing is not here. So here we see the Toxic, but now Blastoise is regular poisoned and not Toxic poisoned.
Actually,
which is pretty nice.
Well, they must have fixed that in later gens, right?
I couldn't tell you. You don't really see Synchronize much in modern gens nowadays, because, usually your hidden ability is better.
True. And it was the Iron Butts here to take on anything Chansey can throw at it.
True. So we're going to see Raichu come in on a Meteor Mash. Take 39%, which is not bad, but the Wish is going to heal it up.
Very nice.
So Ernest making good plays, going, you know what, I'm not going to throw off Thunderbolt. I'm not going to be silly. Jinx is going to come in, eat this Surf. Psych, it's critical hit.
Gosh.
You thought.
Crit.
And here comes the Ice Beam. We're going to see a Freeze. No Freeze. So Pat quickly realizes that, you know what, this Chansey, it has not shown Seismic Toss. It probably doesn't have it. And now he can miss Lovely Kiss freely behind the sub.
Yeah, for sure.
which is silly. So so here comes Matang. Here's Gengar. What are we gonna see? Shadow Ball, 72%.
That's an incredibly good call out by Hall that turn.
Yeah, for sure. And now Houndoom can come in and
You get killed.
do what he needs to do, which is die. But now, here comes Doug Trio in on Espeon.
That's
So,
one hit KO.
Doug Trio should live one Psychic, right? Usually SP Jump doesn't run much investment. HP Bug doesn't do enough. And Psychic gets a critical hit and kills.
I believe
which is-
Psychic should always kill this Doug Trio, but like I also know you got to go for Earthquake that turn. It always does more damage.
Yeah.
And it might not have killed, but it might have. I mean, there could have been like a high roll Earthquake chance there. It is decently stronger.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate. I mean, you never know like how the Doug Trio is trained. You know, it could have a little bit of SPDF that allows it to live that kind of hit, but again, you know,
Yeah.
it's one of those what ifs, you know, have to run the calc. I don't know SPO numbers like that, so.
But now that the Doug Trio's out of the way, that's hugely rough for Hall because he lost his best physical attacker left that can kill, well, pretty much anything. Raichu, Chansey, Espeon, even Hitmonchan's defense is pretty bad here.
Yeah,
we've
and
got a
we
lot
see
of-
that Matang is really putting the team on his back, getting an attack raise there, which is gigantic.
Yeah, and he's not banded, so he can switch up his moves if he needs to, which I believe he doesn't because he doesn't have Earthquake, I don't
He
think.
does not have Earthquake, so now this Matang is at +2 attack,
That's
which
awesome.
is insane. And
What
now
if that
looking
was
at the
Metagross?
roll, right, we see Thunderbolt did 49% last turn. Pat's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to risk that. And he actually goes for the Protect, which was not really a great play just because then you allow Matang to then live.
Maybe he was calling out a boom that turn.
He might have been,
why
but
would
like at
boom?
the same time, there's no reason to really boom there, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. We got
So
Jolteon behind the sub now, and
Jolteon's behind
actually
the sub.
quite good for it because it's gonna pass that to
Pass to
Matang.
Matang, and Matang can get some big damage off.
Yeah.
So now, thanks to the last interaction, we see that Matang is now able to take a Thunderbolt and gets off a Toxic on Raichu. Raichu is on a timer, and Blastoise has kind of done his job.
Hall switching in Blastoise there, expecting a Surf, I believe.
Yeah,
Knowing
this is
that
just a
Jolteon will
throwing
die
away
with Surf.
Blastoise here. You know, he's done his job, and now Jolteon can come in.
Safely.
Yes, and just kind of
And
be
you have
annoying.
enough HP to take a Surf if needed, but he subs up anyways, so.
Yep, get some more Toxic Chip on Raichu, and almost
Does he
finish
get
it
the kill?
off,
He
and
does not
then
get the kill.
does not get the kill, and then just says, you know what, all right, we'll let the double down happen. And now Jinx is in a surprisingly decent position because it can put something to bed.
Yeah, I wonder why. I feel like this should have been Espeon switch here, or instead of Suicune, because Espeon's faster. You're playing a 50-50 of sub Calm Mind anyways.
Yeah,
So-
and we've seen the Calm Mind War, and Espeon does win it. Granted, it is Toxic Poison, so it's a little bit of a scarier
we did
game,
get
but
Toxic. Yeah.
there's a
never
crit
mind.
for good measure.
Boom, Suicune's dead.
Yeah, so now
That's
Chansey
crazy.
comes
Jinx-
in, and something else can go to bed, but of course, Chansey can't really touch this Jinx, so someone's going to bed.
I'll say Jinx is heavily underrated. This thing
Jinx-
hits like way harder than its stats imply.
Yeah. So we're going to see a little bit of a stalemate here. So we know
Looking
Pat
for a
wants
good
to
time
get in.
pass.
He's got to get in Matang.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't have to do anything right now, though.
Yes, right now he's just, let's get Chansey asleep, and, you know, let's try to get Matang in. And Chansey gets the
but
first
I
turn
want
wake.
wake up. Unfortunate.
So we're going to see Meteor Mash come out from Hitmonchan, get an attack raise, which is gigantic. And Matang should be able to live an Earthquake, unless he crits.
Yeah. And that
So
crit
now
was
it's Jinx
bad.
versus the world, and Jinx is going to do its best. So Hall's getting extremely unlucky in this set. Missed countless Toxic, countless lovely kisses. And this Chansey just doesn't seem to want to go away.
That Chansey is very menacing. Just its face. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this fight.
No, absolutely not.
But it doesn't seem like it has seismic toss. So once again, you ask yourself, how are you breaking this up?
Mhm.
You're not.
It is not.
So a quick
no.
look at the Chansey here. Has it revealed all 4 of its moves yet?
It has
not.
So what is that last move?
It could be Ice
So
Beam.
for the sake of
Could be counter.
for the sake of everything, we're gonna kind of speed through these next 2 turns because we're gonna get into a PP stall war. And
I'm gonna get there in my
slowly
description
but
of it.
surely, Chansey is going to reveal its last move after Espeon dies.
Yeah, we
See you
saw
later,
Espeon
Espeon.
for fun.
So
And interestingly enough, Hall's way out would be to maybe get a special drop with Psychic if he's lucky.
or freeze.
Um,
All right,
not,
so
not even so much a freeze. He has to make sure Chansey's low before he goes for the freeze strats because he needs it to like 6-hit KO, right? And that's extremely unlikely.
so
So
now we
think about with
see,
Paul here. I spam Psychic until I get the drop.
yeah, especially now that Espeon's gone and can't switch out.
Yeah.
So we see counter from Chansey. Counter does work on struggle, and now Chansey is going to be able to break the sub and eventually break down Jinx.
Yes, but it turns out struggle doing 5% to Chansey is 25% back on the counter. Thank you, Chansey HP. Very cool.
Yes. So
And a little extra
that-
toxic for good measure because he did save 1 in the back.
yeah. So Pat got very, very unlucky in that set, but Ernest definitely played his way. Or he said, "Oh, I'm gonna take advantage of all these things," and Pat tried to position himself as well as he could. But sometimes the game just says, "Fuck you," and that was a pretty good example of that. But Ernest, not to take away from Ernest playing well, but he got super, super lucky in this set. But yeah, that's it for that set. It was fun. It was really fun to watch, especially live. Like, we had no idea like what's that Chansey's last move. Like, is it the fabled double status pink blob?
Yeah, right.
You know, so we go into our next set. We got Corey and Atomic, well anticipated set, and we're gonna see Celebi and a Marowak lead. Now, usually we've been seeing JT kind of dominate people with Marowak, being the recipient of speed, and then setting up an SD and winning the game. But Corey's going to just say, you know what, I'm gonna call Mind and lose Celebi on turn 1.
Yeah, kind of an odd play. I do not believe that Celebi had a grass move to hit Marowak, so staying in is really risky.
Yeah. I feel like
Of all
Corey
the
kind of
things that
forgot
can kill
that
you.
like HP Bug is going to be on like all of his physical attackers.
Well, funny enough, it's standard on Marowak, even
Yeah.
in like regular play.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Because he doesn't need that extra coverage usually for anything else.
Hmm.
But losing Celebi is rough because getting those Calm Mind passes is really convenient for his backup sweepers, such as Manectric and Vaporeon here.
Just to
And
have a
seeing
little
that
bit more
hidden power,
bulk.
yes, and having that bulk too. Yeah, seeing these hidden powers be a 3-hit KO, but Giga Drain actually saving Blossom a little bit here, turning it into a 4-hit KO, which is pretty nice.
Yeah. So again, like Corey's trying to get into that Pataya range, but now Blossom is at a little too high HP, and it survives and gets the KO.
Yeah, if there's one good argument for using Giga Drain, it's that right there. You turn that matchup in your favor, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I feel like he didn't have to sack his Manectric once it was Giga Draining, right? Like you had a pretty safe switch to Dragonite if you wanted.
Yeah. Plus, I do want to say, like, I think Corey predicted like a switch to Tentacruel.
Yeah,
Because this is a special attacking Dragonite,
Ah.
and I know he switched to Surf over Dragon Claw at the end. Like, he was like, oh, you know what? I don't think Dragon Claw is going to be worth it. I have Ice Beam to hit Mence. Dragon Claw is just really good neutral coverage for situations like that. And
I mean,
now,
you could still hit Ice Beam with Dragonite anyways, because you don't want to go to bed, right? And then if Tentacruel comes in, that's fine. You still have a big Vaporeon in the back that can
Yeah.
probably check it pretty easily. Or
also,
at least force
the
some things,
IRS
yeah.
for Doug Trio, funny.
Very funny. And Corey bringing out his patented technology of Omastar destroying Ments, which honestly we love to see it.
Yeah, it turns out having a high physical defense and Ice Beam is pretty good into
Ice
defense.
Beam on 125 special attack or whatever, or 115 special attack.
Yeah,
Kinda
out-
countered it. Now Drew here hitting Ice Punch because you know he expected Doug Trio to switch in
Yeah,
here.
but it's one of those things where it's like, Doug Trio is literally the only way to win this game.
Yeah.
And, you know, there is a Metagross back there, you know.
Yep.
Just hasn't revealed itself, so you're willing to let Omastar go down so you can play the Doug game. And Drew makes the mid-ground play and goes for Psychic, saying, like, you know what? I'm not going to let you, you know, play these games. Ice Punch won't kill. I can't mess around and T-Bolt, and then boom, Dougie got me.
Yep.
So he does a mid-ground. I like it. EQ takes it out.
If Drew did have sub on that Electabuzz, it would have been a perfect time to go for it first against the Omastar, maybe just to scout. But I don't know. Like, he was never going to live an Earthquake from Dugtrio anyways, so you might as well just hit Psychic if you're going to go for the attack play, because that would have probably killed Omastar, I have to think.
You'd think, yeah.
And I don't think,
after,
I feel like an Ice Punch wouldn't even have killed Dugtrio, so.
The Ice Punch would definitely have killed Dugtrio.
The Psychic did 50.
Yeah, that's super effective, though.
But it's weaker by like a significant amount on the base power. So even the 2x super effective, like I think it's closer than you think. Only because it's Electabuzz and it's not stab.
I don't know. See, like by the same logic, then like we're saying like last game, like oh that's Espeon Psychic crit didn't matter. I know there's stab involved in everything, but like I don't know. Anyway,
I think Espeon's just a much stronger special attacker than Electabuzz, even uninvested. But now we see Metagross.
Yeah. So here comes. So all of a sudden. Corey wins this game.
Yeah, for some reason, Drew really kind of threw away his Salamence early, like, not expecting the Omastar to live the hit. But Corey really made up all that ground from the early game that he lost.
And that was a sloppy early game.
Yeah,
it was like he was basically playing 3v6, it felt like.
Right, and Dugtrio held that 3v6 together so well.
Yeah.
But I don't...
So here, I think, all I have to do, go and sack Omastar, and then, you can win the game with Vape. Because Marowak's not going to one-hit it. Because look at that.
Wow. That thing's so tanky. I mean, obviously, you don't expect the Marowak to live a Surf.
No, I would say it's more like Omastar non-invested. Like, that Marowak held on really nice. So, even more reasons go, dang. Probably shouldn't have, a little oopsie-daisy there. But,
I mean, in what world... Sometimes. Yeah, definitely, like, I would never expect an Omastar Surf to not kill Marowak, so I get it. Because at the same time, if he hit Meteor Mash expecting you to switch to, or Psychic or whatever, whatever coverage move he had, if he had HP Grass or whatever, and Omastar died, and then he just boomed the Vaporeon anyways, like, you lose that game. So I understand the thought process behind Metagross not switching your Vaporeon, but I mean, he's gonna boom. It's just so obvious.
It's one of those things where Metagross can't defeat Vaporeon without exploding, especially at that point. And Meta's done his job, so I feel like you just gotta be like, you know what, I'm willing to, because then you can also trust Vaporeon's defensive utility to take a hit from Marowak, even if you don't one-shot it. Then you still have that, and if Drew predicts it, then it is what it is.
We have game 2, and now. This should be at least a lot safer first turn where Celebi doesn't die immediately.
Yes. So Dragonite comes in.
Dragonite.
Yeah.
And Drew's for Boomerang, which is an interesting pick there.
So here's a Surf. Very interesting. And that Thunderbolt does not a lot. All things
to be fair, I think that's quite a lot to Tentacruel. That thing's a beefy special wall.
I don't know. I expect more from Dragonite for damage purposes.
Maybe.
Alright, so we get Metagross in. Metagross is going to throw off Mash. Vape is going to come in. He's going to eat that up.
Ooh, juicy. Give it more. More. Vaporeon's dummy good against Metagross. It's so funny.
Then you get Dabuzz here coming in for Ice Punch, doing way too much damage.
Yeah, he Ice Punches the Vape, expecting Dugtrio. And he's just going to keep hitting it. Which,
and then gets frozen.
He freezes!
Yeah.
It's kind of a tough spot for Corey, because, like, right now he has 3 Mons that don't enjoy Ice Punch, and Vaporeon, who doesn't enjoy Thunderbolt. He just needs to get his Dugtrio, in which, if he sacks Manectric to do it, that's fine at this point.
Yeah.
But he needs this to buzz off the field immediately.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where, like, you gotta kind of be like, alright, I gotta pick a sack and get dug in, and it can't be Celebi. Kind of want Celebi around.
Yeah.
So, like, Manectric, especially once it got frozen, it's just like, okay. See you later.
Yeah, exactly. Get him out of there. No, good switching with Dragonite here to take the Sleep Powder and Flamethrower on it. That's cool. He's running all 4 special moves.
He's got all the special moves. He said, I found all the TMs. I'm gonna use them. Yeah, even Atomic in the box saying this coverage is true Gen 1. Yeah. Times like this, you're like, dang, Earthquake would be nice.
For sure.
But even,
I always think about that.
and you lose D-Knight, Trap Tentacruel. See you later, buddy.
Yep.
And now, looking at the team, right, still got Vaporeon to check Mets. So, you're not too afraid of it coming in and setting up a DD.
Not at all. In fact, you have multiple mons to do it. You have
Omastar,
too.
and Omastar is in a good spot too. So this is a pretty free beam. Are we going to spike? Nope, we're going to beam. And Metagross can kind of throw off whatever it wants. Throws off Earthquake, doesn't do... It really doesn't do that much. We see a spike.
Well, you say it doesn't do much, but it certainly forces Omastar to think about whether or not he needs to switch out this turn, which is bad. Because he kind of wants his Omastar for Ments later on.
Yeah, but at this point, like, if we're kind of like letting Omastar fight Metagross, you kind of are like, hey, you know what? I still have Vaporeon. That'll be my DD Ments check.
Right, and if you're willing to sack the Omastar to Doug Ments or to Doug Metagross, that's fine.
But even then, like
down.
doing the spike instead of making sure it's in range. It's like I get the spike, but you know you want to secure that kill on Marowak too.
Yep.
But then it's like, you know, how essential is that spike right now? Because Salamence is the threat, and you can just Doug Ments once you're done here.
Yeah. But you know the Ments is well, he's definitely not lefties, so he could be Lum, he could be Bandit.
And then again, Corey lets his vape get boomed. Now Ments is gonna win the game.
Well, possibly.
Ments is gonna win the game.
You still have
this is a spoiler.
I know that, but like they don't know that.
So Celebi's going to bed.
Celebi go to bed. Cool.
Yeah, that's one of those where it's like I get going for the Calm Mind because you're like, all right, I gotta get the damage and everything. But now, Ments is gonna do it.
Yeah, it's an odd Calm Mind mainly because like, who are you passing that to really? You only, I mean, maybe it had Psychic on it.
It was Psychic Celebi.
Yeah, and theoretically, if he dodged the Sleep Powder, he probably could kill the Blossom with a Psychic. So,
I think it had HP Fire. Was it HP Fire? It was HP Fire or Ice. But even then, like you do, like for some reason, if it is Jolly Ments, then you risk that speed tie, which is unfortunate because then you could do all that and then just die. And if it is Psychic, HP Fire, and not HP Ice, then Ments can DD on you. It'll live one and kill you, and then that's it. It's one of those. It's like it's really, really risky. You know, unfortunately, doesn't pay out. But again, like letting Vape get boomed on, when you could just kind of be like, all right, Omastar's done its job. I got to keep one of my Ments checks healthy.
Yeah. In
order to pull this out, I just feel like it's one of those where you spread yourself a little too thin, and then Big Dragon cleans you up.
Yeah, for once, Salamon's got a sweep, so everybody can cheer. We're happy about that at least. Good job, Drew.
Yes. So Drew did what he needed to do. Corey definitely made some questionable plays, but game one he was 3% away from pulling out that first game after a miserable start.
Just goes to show the power of a good core.
Yeah, good Pokemon win good games. More news at 11. So
I'm gonna DM you at 11, just so you know.
Yes, I've received the message. So Scizor is here. JT is doing his patenting. I have Scizor, and I'm gonna.
I like that JT really goes into the builder before his games and checks his Scizor's defensive calcs to see if he can live the common lead Ice Beams and T-Bolts and all that, because he has managed to do this twice now, where he has put Scizor in the lead and done his thing.
Yep. And
specifically built it so it always survives a sub hit, which is like, good job, JT. That's awesome planning. Yep. Like everyone may say, oh, it's so easy, you make it look so easy with these dudes, like especially with having Marowak as your recipient, but he is putting the time in the builder, and I do gotta respect that.
And now at this point, Marowak is behind a sub, +1 attack, +2 speed. He's faster than the entire universe, and
weirdly enough, he's not even 2 times attack. He's just as strong at 1.
Yeah. So he's gonna sub poor Fori. He's gonna be here, and JT's gonna say, you know what, give me another one. I can live.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate for Fori because he had to play. If Aaron was gonna ever make a comeback in this, he had to make a call out for EQ boom at some point. And being a range on sub as well is pretty brutal, or get a crit with EQ. Like all that had to be in the cards, but there is no world.
No.
There is no world where he makes a comeback against this Marowak. No. So
and
it is what it is.
One of those things where it's like we want to see, like, hey, how do we adapt to these kinds of things, right? It's not let's set up spikes and kind of let it happen again.
Yeah, now if you're gonna do something like this and not pay attention to the calc, at least when you hit that earthquake, just hit boom to get the sub out of the way, and that way you can get the intimidate Stantler out, right? And then maybe you can find a way to safely get shifted. Like, there's a lot you can do there, but it also just comes down to, I think, a team building issue with Aaron is he doesn't really change it up too much. And even like if he just brought 6 random mods on his team over the same 6 again, I think he would have shown a better showing, maybe gone a few more turns against this Marowak. Because JT locked in, Reg Ice lead, doesn't have a way to beat sub, like doesn't have a way to be faster than this Marowak or eat hits from this Marowak, and just sent it, and it just worked. So, but it was nice. We got a short game in after the long call game. So good job, JT.
Yeah, JT
Aaron,
did his
I know
thing.
I know Aaron said he has high hopes in this free agency, but even after free agency, Aaron, I think it's a good idea just to maybe mix up your leads a bit.
And let this be a lesson. Don't let that happen to you. Don't
Right.
set up spikes in front of the guy who has already kicked your ass and has done his thing. Don't let him do it twice. If it happens once,
you gotta
fool me.
something.
I said, all right, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, fuck you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
oopsie.
next game. This set was kind of wild. So strap in.
This set has a lot to talk about.
There's a lot of things going on. So we got Venusaur, Omastar lead, and Typhlosion is coming in and going to bed.
Doc's really been on the lead Venusaur train lately. I think he likes the sleep powder start.
Yeah, sleep is just a really good lead. Switches in the Blissey to return, which, might not have been the best idea, but hey, it works out.
Best idea if it's a counter Blissey. Hey.
True. But now Lax is kind of free to start doing his thing. And now Blissey's in trouble.
Big damage coming in.
Yeah. You can soft boil it if you want. Lax is just going to get stronger. He's ready to rock.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea behind the soft boiled Blissey here. If you need to get that thing back up,
and now that it's at full HP, you've got to get out of there.
Yeah, but now that it's full, don't stay in. That's where the bad parts happen.
Yeah, that's where
get your Blissey out. You have better mons.
It's like you can sub and you can hope for Paras, but now your Blissey is gone. This is a +2 Snorlax, and he's got Shadow Ball. It lives.
We see Lunatone at home here with this Heat Rock, running Calm Mind, even though it's the 55 special attack one, not the 95.
Yeah.
So interesting pick there. Maybe consider Explosion next time on it. That's
and
really what does better.
Screen.
I liked Smokescreen Weezing. I'm gonna say it.
Why?
Because it's hysterical because he's using Destiny Bond correctly here, right? But he's offsetting it with Smokescreen. However, on a team that has no good ways to deal with Snorlax, at least this is theoretically a way to deal with Snorlax, right? Like, going down to half accuracy makes it so maybe Venusaur can get a turn off where it hits Leech Seed, but of course he has Toxic that turn. We're not going to talk about that turn. I think that conceptually forcing your opponent to have to deal with luck is at least a strategy like that. Gives you a chance to crit, gives you a chance to do something else. Like, if you're not going to play perfect mons, you might as well at least put up a strategy that can do something. And that's where I think Smokescreen, at least for Dante here, is somehow proving its worth.
Yeah.
As much as it looks just like he's hacking, which it is.
It is.
It is straight up, I'm just going to get lucky, right? But that's a thing. Sometimes luck is skill. Sometimes you get the Snorlax kill. Because you smokescreened it 6 times. But
sometimes
that's not enough to win the set. So Bannon just cleans up with a nice Banded Donphan EQ after all the levitators are dead. So
little HP bug for you.
Yep.
So that was Smokescreen Gaming. Kind of got through the Snorlax issue.
A little too slow for I think our liking, but hey, it's better than what we've seen before. So I want to give shout outs to that.
So again, we got the double status trend going on here.
I think Bannon's so brave for doing this, by the way. He's staying in on what he knows has Giga Drain just to get a layer of spikes. I think that's
what you do, because you look at how Omastar does in the matchup, and you're like, it's really not that great.
It's not, but the weird thing is it's slower. So that's incredibly brave. He might not have even gotten a spike up.
It's true. So he
But
was kind of
he
like, you
does
know what? I don't care. I'm willing.
Yeah, he does get the Snorlax in safely though, which is cool because this is his biggest win con.
This is the damage.
Yeah. A
So
little surprising he's selling returns right here instead of setting up for free. I'm not
yeah,
entirely
so we see
sure.
Mimic,
Oh my
it's
god.
learned return. Yeah, I'm really
It's learned
shocked that he hasn't
return?
set up yet.
Yeah, I feel like I'm waiting for the Snorlax to just start cursing.
Because as we've
But-
seen, right, like this Snorlax can just beat this Blissey. Now it's paralyzed, can't get burned, can't get put to sleep.
Well, it couldn't get put to sleep anyways because Typhlosion's asleep. So it
Oh,
really
you're
just
right,
couldn't get
you're right. I
burned.
forgot about that. So here's
Now-
smoke screen again. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it because you are a nicer person than me. If you use accuracy lowering moves on purpose in our formats, I do not respect you for doing that. Don't do it again, please. That's
If you use
cringe.
Mudslap in our
That is
format and you give
cringe.
me a real
No,
reason-
that is cringe. Don't do it.
No.
Big
I like
cringe. No. Well, you like stupid Smeargle dumb stuff.
Hey, did you see the Smeargle that had Spore sub transform that was used in the Gen 3 competitive tournament that's happening right now?
I did. Notice how he
It was
wasn't
awesome.
using smokescreen though. That
No.
was cool. I
But
just don't.
Smokescreen's a
I
bad
don't
move.
like it.
Let's get this out of the way. Smokescreen's a bad move, right? It doesn't do
Very
anything. It
very
just
bad.
wastes
It's
time.
very cheesy and I don't like it.
So if it's bad and doesn't do anything, like as you can see here, he's hitting the returns constantly and killing, right? Which, by the way, I'm a little surprised that Ben has stayed in this whole time. I know he's super boosted, and he is hitting through everything.
Yeah.
But at some point, you could just go leave and reset that accuracy drop and come back and do it
And do it
later
again,
all over
yeah.
again. Yeah. And now that you're at low HP, right? Has he revealed all his moves yet? Does he have rest?
No, it's curse return. No.
I think it does have rest. I'm looking at that because he hasn't even revealed a fourth move yet, and usually Curse Lax carries rest. At some point, he probably should have rested
Oh,
there.
it
And if he
might have been
doesn't have rest,
self-destruct.
self-destruct?
could have been.
That's great.
So
That's a great
Zapdos gets
twist.
frozen here. I don't know
you know-
why Bannon went for Thunderwave.
Yeah, I think he might have just forgotten that Quag is a ground type, or thought maybe it would switch. Either way, I think Zapdos was not the play there. It didn't have HP Grass. It had HP
Yeah,
Psychic.
and you have the grass type here, which apparently does not have a grass move. And then we're gonna see a kill with Ice Beam, and all of a sudden, Quag is
Yeah.
well positioned.
Yeah, there's a frozen Zapdos, a sleeping Typhlosion, and something in the back.
Donphan.
That doesn't want to come into Quag either. So all of a sudden, you not having... I think that Executor had a grass move. I just don't know why I didn't click it.
It must not have. Might have been HP Fire, perhaps. I don't know.
I think that's... Well, you got to have a grass move on it for Quag. Like, you know Quag's going to be here. But Donphan cleans up, and he does go for lock himself in the Earthquake, which is a little
We see a little
unfortunate
Destiny
here.
Bond. Yeah.
Right. Now we're in a funny spot with Destiny Bond wheezing here, right?
But now we got
Because-
the. Here comes the smoke screen on the sleeping
Yeah.
Typhlosion.
I'll be honest, I think Bannon got lucky, but also unlucky this set. Like, he's gotten 5, I think the max sleep turn on this Typhlosion, allowing this Wheezing to go all the way up to who knows how high it is at this point.
Yeah, it's like.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically like.
And we see
hitting
the
Fisher.
smoke screen mattering there.
Yeah, and
Granted, he could have hit
Donphan
Cyclone
might
twice,
not be
but
able.
we
To,
can
he's
see
not
it
gonna be able to
mattering.
do it because Destiny Bond will take it out eventually.
The Destiny Bond would just clean up here at the end. So
Yeah.
it's surprisingly good strategy by Dante at the end there.
Yeah, he
And a
did
little-
play that end game well again.
Yeah. Call him cringe. Do it.
It is
Call him
cringe.
using smoke
Dante,
screen.
you're cringe. Don't use that again.
But you got to win off it.
You did win. Still cringe.
I feel like we're denying what made that set good there.
I said it
Proper
was. It was
usage-
funny.
Proper usage of Wheezing and Blissey and not leaving them in on mons that are dangerous.
That's true. That part was good, even though Blissey did try to 1v1 Snorlax twice.
That was game 1. Hold on.
Hey, that was game 2 as well. That Blissey stayed in
Yeah,
on Lax
I
longer
mean,
than it should have.
Maybe T-Wave off and then he just left. Yeah, maybe it really doesn't have a grass move, but I really thought it did.
No, it must not. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think we would have seen it.
Yeah. But it does have Leech Seed, and that's a really nice thing to have versus Blissey. So we see that come in, and this Coconut is going to start at 46 HP and
And
get
dump
back
at
to 49?
Yeah, so he's in a
Yeah,
great
even
spot.
more
He
than it
says,
started.
"I'll just keep doing it."
Exactly.
He's like, "I don't care. Give me
At the
souls."
same time, like, if you want to kill this Blissey, you do have Explosion on this Executor, and you could just
Yeah.
send it at any point.
Yeah, but I honestly
think
kind of
that's a
like keeping this
fantastic
thing
one.
around because it proved
Yeah.
very good in game 2.
Exactly.
There's Venusaur.
And we
Venusaur
see
goes down.
Venusaur here. Yep.
Here comes the rock.
Now, if this rock just hits, I actually learned something there. I did not realize you couldn't mimic on the turn you came in, and learned something on the last turn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, didn't know that.
Very interesting. Oh, so
What
that
the
hit power does not do enough. I wonder what HP it is. Probably ice.
No,
That's
Weezing's
my
not that
guess.
strong. Weezing is not that strong. There's no way.
Maybe it's AP bug.
I think it was because he's a physical attacker. He's running Sludge Bomb this week. I think it could be
You
HP
never know.
flying.
You never know. We've been seeing Shadow Ball Blissey a lot.
Yeah.
So.
But Zapdos behind a sub with no HP Grass, and this Quag is going to either force it out, or let's see how much this Psychic does. Good enough damage.
Yeah, HP's doing some damage.
I remember Ben saying
Zapdos
he
can
wanted to
kind
run
of
HP
just.
Psychic this week for all the poison types out there. But he
Honestly,
has
I'm surprised he didn't go for just HP Ice just to kind of do it, because Zapdos isn't really the best in this matchup, all things considered.
No, not really. Unless it's like, I like the way Will's been running Zapdos against Blissey lately, with the physically or the specially defensive with Toxic
You're
Rest.
just fat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good if you have with spike support, you can just kind of roar around and you can play around it.
And Ben getting all his spikes up late game is interesting and fun.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting, just because like Weezing and Solrock are levitators.
Yeah.
And we know Alakazam's in the back. That does help, but at the same time, Snorlax is kind of.
Now, if that was a
ready to
return, that
run.
Weezing was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And Ben has to be careful here with this Weezing, because he never knows if it's going to hit Destiny Bond or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he can't really afford to sack his Snorlax at this point, looking at what's left.
No, he needs Lax.
Yeah, he needs Lax.
But he also needs to get rid of Weezing so that he doesn't get Destiny Bonded.
Exactly. And honestly, good job by Dante getting Blissey in on the Star there. I know Dante doesn't make the best switches for walls purposes, but this has been a pretty decent showing this game. And then T-waving a Donphan is certainly a move.
Yeah.
So sometimes both players don't know when
And
to
we're gonna
move.
just do it again.
Yeah. Ben is watching the Rock Slide right now, which I believe he intentionally chose to hit the switches, which makes perfect sense, but it isn't doing enough to
So we're gonna see some more. Snorlax is gonna come in.
Right.
And Minut's like, you know what, I've had enough. I'm gonna get
Soul
go.
Rock. And
So
this is
here
a
comes the
great
curse
curse
and
turn.
Lax.
Yep. Great curse turn, and hopefully a little Shadow Ball damage after ×2 just blows it up.
×2. As we saw, it doesn't quite kill.
Yeah. Wow.
Doesn't quite kill.
What a beast.
Yeah, so we see Psychic, little Spadef drop.
Just for fun.
And then the rock is gone.
Goodbye,
And now
Rock.
Weezing can come in and Destiny Bond.
Yeah, someone should tell Dante he should go take Lunatone instead of Soul Rock. I think I actually say that in the set. But here comes Bandit making the worst play, unfortunately.
The worst play of all time.
Or Dante making the
Because
best play.
now
of all time.
Alakazam
Who's
is
to say?
kind of poised to do some damage.
Yeah. I don't know why he actually went and sacked out. Maybe he thought Blissey was coming in there.
Yeah, if he wants free zap, I
Yeah.
get it.
But this Zap doesn't have Toxic, if I recall. So, like,
Yeah.
Blissey's the freest switch in here. Dante doesn't have to let his Alakazam die like this.
Yeah.
But,
And he does get it paralyzed, so now when Typhlosion comes in,
yeah.
he can do pretty okay. And he
And,
still has
wow.
Donphan to
good.
finish it off. Dante definitely could have won this game 3.
Oh, yeah. Right now, you just go, okay, how do I get Donphan in safely? And, spoiler alert, it's not by sending it into a Seismic Toss.
No, yeah, that's a very risky way to do it, because you are slower than Blissey, which is not good.
Yeah, because if he wasn't slower than Blissey, which you already knew that information ahead of time, you just sack your Zapdos and then just eat Coup twice and win the game. But
Because now Dante can just click Soft Boil and win the game.
right, because there's only 2 special attackers left, and what, one's paralyzed and the other one's asleep?
Yeah. And
But
there is the
Dante-
patented Shadow Ball Blissey.
Patented Shadow Ball Blissey moment.
Oh, please. I
He took
can't
it
do
off
it.
next week, spoiler alert.
So we see Blissey's doing its thing. Zapdos is kind of just gonna sit here until the end of time, because all of these Pokemon are just paralyzed.
Well, that's what you do think, but this Zapdos doesn't have rest, so he will die first.
Mm-hmm.
And Bannon actually sends
Bandit
in
goes
his-
right to Typhlosion.
That was
which is
super
crazy.
brave. That was brave. But it works out weirdly
It works
enough
out
you get
because of the
huge
crit.
that turn. No. This still matters. It still matters because this could have been at 100% HP. Because now he goes for his Sunny Day, Blaze boosted, Pataya boosted Typhlosion moment.
Mm-hmm.
And prays to God that this Blissey gets
full
paralyzed
parried.
if it does. So a
Yep.
little bit of revenge back on for all the smoke screens earlier.
Yeah.
And Ben actually turns the game around, which I did not think was possible. So
Yeah. All it took was a good well-timed para.
Yeah,
So,
shoutouts
that
to
was a
well-timed
silly game.
paras and gamble plays.
Yes.
Good job, Ben. I mean,
No more smoke screen.
yeah, no more smoke screen.
But that game 3 was very clean.
Destiny Bond on your Weezing. That's actually legitimately good.
With paralysis and then making sure that you can get off the Destiny Bond is good.
Yeah. So I like that a
That
lot.
part's great. So, yes.
But crazy set that we did not expect to get that close at the
I
end.
really
In fact,
did not, yeah.
I thought it was when I was watching that at like midnight on my phone in bed asleep or whatever when they were playing. I'm thinking to myself, Bannon's blasted out of his mind, but he wasn't. And Dante's just getting the best luck of his life, and then he didn't. So it was kind of
True. Yeah, so we're about halfway through. We got some more sets. We got Jordan and Will, Padawan versus the Master.
What do we got
So we
here?
got Glalie and Zap.
Yeah,
Glalie
Zappa
wins
common
that.
lead, but not great against Ice Beam Glalie, so he switches out.
Yeah, I don't know about the taunt there. Very interesting lead. Like, interesting way to start because you just get your spike.
Well, more importantly,
You get
you're
your spike,
slower
you
than
get
Zapdos. What are you taunting?
Yeah. Like, what? So Zapdos doesn't click sub agility? He's going to do it before you anyway.
Yeah.
And he's not going to stay in.
No.
And now Glalie's gone and no spikes.
Yeah, now Hitmontop could get like Doug or something, that would be okay, but we do see a Willow coming in on Zapdos, which is probably fine for Zapdos. He'd rather be Willow than Toxic.
Yeah, because I know this is rest. This is rest Zapdos, so he really doesn't care.
We're
And I don't know what it is about Toxic not hitting today.
Hey man, 85%, it has to miss at some point in our season, right?
There
Let
it
it
is.
all happen. Let it all happen this week.
Yeah, and a big crit, so that burn.
Almost mattered.
Burn really brought it down, and Zapdos is saying, alright, peace, I'm out of here.
Right.
There's Plusle.
I think Plusle's fantastic, Mon.
Plusle is a funny guy.
But not against Dusclops. What's it going to do exactly?
No, he's going to do 29%.
Hey, you know, that's enough to break a sub. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. It certainly is. And you're going to BP, we're going to go Blissey. There we go.
Good play, good play.
Blissey is going to sit here, but Dusclops can heal off of Blissey forever. And a little heal bell. Interesting. And Zapdos goes down. We go to Dusclops. There we go. We see bulk up Hitmontop, which is cool. And then followed up by the HP Ghost. So I really like this Hitmontop set. Typically, like, Hitmontop is really just a spinner. But against Jordan's team, fighting plus Ghost coverage is incredibly strong. Because you're going to use the HP Ghost to break through the Dusclops, and then the fighting moves to break through like Porygon and Blissey and stuff. But now Hitmontop getting burned, so all that fun shenanigans, they're out the window. And we're going to have a Dusclops battle. Pain splitting back, getting up HP. And both these guys are going to sit here and do nothing. So here comes Porygon, who just got pressure. And
that's funny.
We see that this Dusclops is going for Imprison. So he's really trying to shut off this other Dusclops. However, it would just shut off the Shadow Ball. So, we don't know the Dusclops' other moves at this point, but we can assume that maybe one of them is Ice Beam, right? One of them might be Will-O-Wisp. We see the Pain Split.
I'm like, one of them's absolutely Pain Split at this point, and I'm gonna guess the third is Willow.
Yeah. Here's Big Slow.
Slowbro in on Porygon's a mood, right? Because you definitely win the 1v1. But that T-Bolt's still going to do a lot, I think.
It is doing a lot of damage. That's offensive.
Yeah.
And a critical hit. That's what you get for setting up in front of guys sometimes. It'll happen to you. It happens to the best of us.
We love battle.
And here's Roselia to eat this Ice Beam, and it really bounces off, and we're going to get some spikes up.
And Roselia proving it's very useful, honestly. Natural cure, so he doesn't even care about being paralyzed, really, but he goes for aromatherapy to get the rest of his team healed, which I think is nice.
Yeah, really good play. In hindsight now, knowing that Roselia had that, you could have gone into it a little bit earlier as soon as you can and save Zapdos from dying to burn upon injury.
Yeah, I really thought that play was weird that he let Zapdos just die like that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. But now Hitmontop is ready to unleash its carnage.
Yeah, bulk up
And
him
now
on
he's
top I think is
progressing.
really good right in the spot here. Having Brick Break HP Ghost is pretty nice coverage. He hasn't, like, nothing looks like he could take a hit here.
Yeah. Plus, it gets it for free.
You know, getting paralyzed does matter. And showing up that it has Mach Punch or at least Quick Attack, one of the two.
Mach Punch, yeah, there it
We
is.
see Mach
So we
Punch
see the
here.
BP. And here comes Sceptile, which is
That's the
looking
final one.
not as threatening as you'd think, because it's just going to get out of there.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he brought in Sceptile that turn.
It was definitely a very odd decision, and not just going for like Thunderbolt, because now Plusle's going to die on injury.
Right, yeah, that's the weird part. But Dusclops taking these hits pretty well at the moment, and Will deciding he doesn't want to play this game and bulks up
He
again.
says, I've had enough.
Right. And now Jordan's going to switch to the one Mon that can't actually take an HP Ghost or a Brick Break, but that's okay. He gets away with it because Will just bulks up again.
Yep, and we're
Which
going
I
to see a
feel
Leaf
was a
Blade.
little unnecessary by him.
Yes. And it could even be the downfall, because look at all these full paras, and Leaf Blade takes it out. So
Yep,
sometimes you can't be
in the
too
game.
greedy. But
Yeah,
you
that
can build
was-
out because you got Aerodactyl.
Correct. Or at least so far, that's what we think. Let's see how much damage this does, and ooh, it
It's
is
not
not
enough.
enough.
So we're gonna see a nice little
Honestly,
slog
hope
to
Jordan
end the
doesn't
game
drop
here.
Porygon through this free agency. I think she's figured it out.
Yeah. Just got to
Yup.
deal with the fighting types a little bit.
Yeah,
You
just
know.
deal with the fighting types a little better. Paralyzing everything is certainly a way to get around it.
Yeah, for sure. We've seen David do it with his slower team. We
Mhm.
just saw Dante do it with Destiny Bond and everything.
Yeah. And Aromatherapy Blissey right here now carrying her team. And we're starting to see that there is a little bit of a status war happening here. But this Roselia is forced to switch thanks to that Ice Beam doing 40-something damage. So,
Yeah, really did a lot of damage.
we love good Blissey sets. But
Yeah, so
Sceptile comes in.
Blissy's being fat, and DJ Crazy Times is throwing off a sub, which does not survive Dusclops' Shadow Ball.
No way.
Dusclops is really holding it down right now.
Yep. But I like the Leech Seed there instead. Don't worry about the sub. Just get your seed.
Yeah.
Now you can
Get
do
a
what
little
you
bit of
gotta do.
HP, start to chip it. Big crit
Like,
there.
That's a skill.
hmm
And I think it is because you got to respect the Leaf Blade crit when you
Yeah.
when you have a counter in against it.
Yeah, and then Jordan makes a great move, goes for Hidden Power, whether that's probably HP Ice.
That is HP Ice, yes.
Yeah.
Which was probably
Oh,
for Roselia more than Aerodactyl, but hey, we take those.
Yeah, for sure.
And Blissy's now in and is forcing Arrow out because Arrow could not one-shot that Blissey. And Will is looking in a little bit dangerous of position here.
Yeah,
Forced
but
to sack
Dusclops
his-
does hang on
Oh,
and gets the
shoot,
pain
doesn't
split,
sack
and it says,
oh
I'm
my
back.
God, 100%!
Yeah, that's a great turn to sack Plusle.
Yes! Oh my gosh, you're right! That's
Great turn to
would've
sack
won the
Plusle.
game. Well, actually, I say that would have won the game, but Sceptile already died, so how are you doing enough damage against Dusclops after that?
Well, it would have been at a really low percent, and then you could have come in with Porygon, which would have probably been the strongest attack left on the team. Or, no, your own Dusclops, sorry, and click Shadow Ball.
Well, the problem with that, it's paralyzed.
Because it's
Oh,
parried.
that would have been the play.
Mhm.
Yep, that would have been the play. Yep.
Yeah, so
Because I'm
now
looking at
we're
it, I'm
kind
like,
of in
I
a...
know Will sped crept his Dusclops to outspeed hers, but then I forgot that this was paralyzed. So, anyways,
So there's a little bit of a, little PP stall going on, so we're just going to kind of
yes.
go past that
So,
one real quick.
Will's game plan there was to stall out the Ice Beams to safely get Roselia in to get a Leech Seed off to then heal everybody, which was a
Yep.
fantastic play. Jordan spamming Ice Beam, not really realizing that until it was too late.
hmm
Since now all that Porygon has left is Thunderbolt.
Yep.
And now the Dusclops isn't paralyzed and can trap the other Dusclops, so her best chance at winning the game is kind of done now too.
Yeah, so now Dusclops has kind of become immortal.
Right, but we do
So the
see
thing,
some
it's like,
Leech
could have
Seed
sacked Plusle, but one of those things where there were plays to be made, but now Will he took advantage of the miscues
Yeah.
and said, all right, let me kind of be in position here.
Now, I thought the game was actually over this turn, but Jordan does something that pulls it back to be surprisingly close. And I don't remember what it was, unfortunately. Because this is a long game. This is a very long game, if you
Yes.
don't remember. But around this time, I'm like, and Corey even saying, Gen 3 apologists, please try and defend this. Like, this game is becoming silly.
Mhm.
Jordan, I just want to shout out to Jordan, just what she did. It's like turn 120 or something. I don't remember.
All right, so
Well,
we are
she
going
did
to
something
enter
I
the
didn't
next
even
dimension.
realize. Yeah, so Will's fine with staying in with Dusclops all this time. He knows
Dusclops doesn't need to leave.
Yeah, he's unbreakable,
he's...
but he brings in Roselia, which I think is interesting. Getting it paralyzed here.
Yeah.
Which Jordan is pretty much doing negative damage at this point.
Yeah, literally. So
and Will's just
we're gonna skip through. We're gonna see some fat guys be fat.
Yep. Neither the Aerodactyl would come in at any point and try to break something, but Will doesn't need to as he's on the front foot here. Oh, it's here, right? So Jordan gets the paralyzed back on the Dusclops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And manages to get her own Dusclops in and basically
and it gets the full para right here.
Yeah, gets the full para Shadow Ball. Now the Roselia comes in, can't take the hit. Roselia has to cure the Dusclops. So now Roselia is dead.
There's the Imprison and boom.
But I like that she managed to get the Dusclops out and kill the Roselia. But if there was any way for this Dusclops to die, that would have been a great thing. But unfortunately, with 3 layers of spikes, there is no real way to win this.
Yeah.
But it was close.
Now it's close. Yeah. She almost had it.
Yeah, because that Dusclops somehow died, right? If she managed to come back in, right, paralyze the Dusclops again, and then bring in her Dusclops like she did there and actually get the kill again with super good luck, she does win the game.
She does, yeah.
And that does require a ton of hacks, effectively.
Yeah, so at this point, we're kind of like, all right, we're at -1 Thunderbolts. There's no coming back
60 turns here.
Yeah, no need for that. So kind of just rushed through those, but at that point the damage was done. So here we go. Glalie is going to Ice Beam this turn.
Good job. Much better.
Good. After that last game, Spikes needs to be a priority.
Yes, I agree. And hitting HP go. What is that HP?
Grass.
Yeah, grass. Yeah, that's cool and all.
And there's an Ice Beam trying to get Zapdos, which works out, but like you need to get the spike down.
It doesn't kill.
Yeah.
Oh, but now you have a free spike.
Now you can get the spikes down.
Yeah, for free.
All right, listen. I'm gonna talk. Jordan. I'm gonna talk to you right now, friend.
Let him talk to you.
You drafted Glalie in like the 3rd or 4th round to get spikes. Click spikes. That's it. Click the spike button. Will does not have spin. He has a spinner in quotes, but it doesn't have rapid spin.
It's not.
You just got dog dicked by Dusclops and Roselia for 100 turns. Get your spikes up. Make your life a little bit easier. Yeah, I know Zapdos is scary. Slowbro is annoying. Get your spikes. It'll make it all easy. Okay, that's it. Anyway, back to the game.
That wasn't the worst play either.
Yeah. And now Spike.
No!
No!
I will say those Ice Beams are doing significantly good damage.
And then we're booming! And with no spikes on the field. Was all the damage worth it?
I don't know.
Who's to say? Because now Will's like, alright, I'm going to get my spikes. Will sees the opportunity and says, yeah, this is okay. 2 layers? Good enough. That's how I won the last game. I'm going to do it again. Sometimes it's that simple. So Jordan's playing this game, like, offensively, she's putting on a lot more pressure. Which is good, but, like, imagine if those spikes were down. Roselia would be gone. You'd chip the heck out of Slowbro when it comes back in. Dusclops wouldn't be annoying. Yeah, you'd still have to deal with Arrow, but it's a lot more manageable.
And getting Arrow down, chipped down is pretty nice, but you, like, Roselia being gone and Arrow being low, like, theoretically, there's no more aromatherapy, so you can clean this game up pretty easily, but having spikes like that, Slowbro would have just died, right?
Yeah, there's a 12% or even up to 25% on Dusclops. Mm-hmm. You pair it, now your Dusclops is going to be able to deal with it better. And then you can position Sceptile to really do some damage.
Oh yeah, Sceptile's the one that's going to clean this game up if it has to.
Yeah, once you get Arrow out of the way, which again is easier said than done, but Arrow cannot seem to break this Porygon. And now your Porygon is going to take a lot of spikes chip, because you're at 62, you come in, -18, so about 44%, 42%.
You get 2-hit KO'd, yeah.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden you can't do it.
And this Dusclops getting toxic is a little...
Yeah, and you just don't... Dusclops doesn't do damage.
No, it shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, this is not a battle it can win.
In fact,
And Jordan does get
Will's
lucky,
helping.
gets
He's sending it
Sceptile.
out. He's sending it
Yeah.
out. And
If you guys
Sceptile
doesn't
does
kill...
not do enough. Hey, Duck.
Now Duck is here. Granted, you get lucky here. Now it's like, alright, I could get recover off. But we don't see it.
Oh, no
Zapdos
recover.
is going to go to bed. No recover. So now Porygon can't even check Arrow.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if I like that.
So it's very sad. I guess we're trying to make something happen with the sub pass.
Yeah, we're
But even then, like, I think it's
sub.
just time for Plusle to try to do something, but it can't break Zapdos.
No, Zapdos turns out is the biggest bird.
Yeah. Jordan says, alright, let me see here with
Let me
Blissey.
get Blissey behind the sub. That's
But at the same time, doing all the sub passes, we've seen the roar on Zapdos, and now Zap is kind of just doing it.
Yeah, you gotta status the Zap somehow. But you're only even if it's T-Volt or T-Wave, sorry. Like
Yeah.
Willow.
We
T-Wave.
saw how good that Will-O-Wisp was because it makes Zapdos have to rest sooner. And now we're healing Slowbro, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And Slowbro's actually faster than Dusclops due to leftover speed.
Mm.
And at this point, all the spikes are really racking up. So Jordan's kind of seeing like, oh, you know, these spikes are really good and they're really messing me up right now.
Yeah, if Jordan was able to take out the Slowbro Dusclops wall connection here, like, I mean, granted, this Zapdos is really obnoxious for Jordan's team currently to take on.
Yeah.
But
so I totally understand wanting to do the Ice Beam on it with Glalie and everything, but you still have to spike on turns where it's appropriate.
Yeah, like on turns where it's rested. But we do get Sceptile in, which is great. I love that seed. I think that's an awesome seed. It's what you have to do here.
Mm-hmm. You gotta recover with this Porygon.
Right. Also, I think is dead on entry, so that's a little unfortunate.
Probably, yeah.
And now Porygon 2 is dead.
Yep.
We're seeing Zapdos pretty much solo an entire team by itself again.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's super fat, and Jordan's team already struggles to do damage.
Yeah.
And now Dusclops is gone.
Oh, he died on entry. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
there's only one play left, and that's getting Sceptile to cheese.
You gotta get Sceptile in, and you gotta start getting lucky.
Yep. So let's see how lucky she gets. Leaf Blade.
Leaf Blade, 12%, not ideal.
I think that's pretty ideal.
Miss Leech Seed, not great. There's the roar.
Ideal, yeah.
Blissey's gonna struggle to do anything, and it's really a matter of once Arrow hits the field.
Yeah, if Blissey goes down to like 40 and Arrow hits the field, the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, Will is looking to just take out one mon at a time. Doesn't really need to worry too much. Of course, he wouldn't.
So he doesn't really care. He's just, all right, plus
he would be very happy if this Zapdos gets behind the sub again. But
yeah, but you know, at this point, there's not much that Jordan can really do. Now it's Toxic, little Leech Seed.
Yep.
And
fine because Blissey does have aromatherapy, so the Toxic isn't the worst. Isn't the worst thing. Imagine if this was a Calm Mind Blissey this week.
Still could be Zapdos because of Roar.
Maybe. But if it had to come in on it to roar it out, you know.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, Slowbro back at full. You know, Dusclops still being here. It's really just a PP war.
Will's team is actually the fattest team. We just don't know it yet.
I didn't mean we don't know it. We're watching it.
I know. Well, now we know. We didn't know. We're like, oh, it's just
Oh no, I don't know. They don't know Mr. Squidward.
It's not a fat team. No, it's a fat team.
It just so happens to have, you know, Aerodactyl to clean up everything.
Right, so it looks.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, you got the fat guys. You play the neutral in the mid game. You make your opponent mess up, and then you clean them up.
And you see a Leaf Blade crit Slowbro. That's always cool.
Yeah. Now at this point, it's just like, okay,
yeah,
let Arrow. Boom. Let Arrow clean. Boom, boom, boom.
Like, theoretically, if you sack the Sceptile there, Blissey comes in, takes a hit, Ice Beams, but then you just die to Zapdos anyways, so it's not like...
You die to Zapdos, you die to Dusclops, you can't beat either of them. The game was over, like, many turns ago.
It's not a big deal that you lost on turn 64 compared to turn 130 or whatever, like, it was never going to happen. But it was good.
It was one of those where it was like, you're going to, you know, losing that really, really long game sucks, because that was definitely a winnable game. Mm-hmm. This second one, there wasn't really much to do. Like, once, like, without the spikes, it's really hard to break Dusclops down.
I think,
and then letting your own Dusclops go down early, very unfortunate.
I think something
Glalie booming.
understated.
Yeah, but Glalie booming very early in the game was very not great, because then you lose that ice beam, which is that special damage to hit a lot of things. And we even saw that HP grass did a lot to Slowbro too.
Yeah.
And imagine like having those spikes down, like being able to get to all 3 layers with all the fat shit to kind of pass it around. Glalie could have stuck around and then gotten off a boom when necessary. So
I think there's a little small part of the game though that's a little tough, and we're not all perfect at the game, but their game one I think took 45 minutes.
It did. They got the notification. It's like, oh, gaming is occurring. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And after like an hour, I was like, are they?
Yeah, like where's the replays? Did they forget to get the replays? And I go in and I see it's turn 124. I'm like, no wonder they're probably tired at this point. They don't want to be playing it much more. Like it's hard to play that good for that long. And it's hard to then have to do another game on top of that that's just as long. So I get it, It's tough.
Yeah, so we'll go into the next few sets. Brian, these are your and I sets. And we'll go into the big one at the end.
Yep.
So we'll go through mine pretty quick. So I'm against Ethan. We got Smeargle. I got Taunt Mischievous, the Fun Police, to say no to all that. All those shenanigans. Metagross coming in. Obviously, Skarmory kind of sits on it forever. Especially a Choice Band set. And then it's time to get the spikes down. And it's one of those things where this Lantern was very, very strong. And sometimes you forget that Shadow Ball being physical, it does lower your special defense.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, yeah, T-Bolt from Lantern, I can take one, it's fine. Forgetting that I got the Spadef drop, and then Lantern just drops a Thunder anyway. So I throw away Skarm on turn 5 like an idiot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because he's not a great special attacker, so he needs to have that extra power.
And it's got Hydro Pump too, so it's like, oh, okay, I can't really Calm Mind set up with subs, so I just say, okay, this is fine. And then Lantern goes to bed, and I'm like, all right, it's Raikou time.
Yeah, I didn't like that rest. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know he expected me to just kind of hit him.
I also don't like Lantern in against Raikou. I think you get out immediately because even though you do have Volt Absorb, you lose that matchup sadly.
Which is funny, Yeah. Anyway, here's Delibird. Delibird is here. Unfortunately, this is not going to be his day. He has a purpose. We'll talk about him later. So for now, he is just free entry for Flygon.
I can't believe you let him die for Flygon when he could have just gone. Wait, is Vaporeon here?
Yeah, he's here.
Why didn't you just go Vaporeon? Why would you let Delibird
die?
I
wanted the free entry. Because look at Flygon versus everything I've seen. I just want him in to click Earthquake.
It's a little brutal that Ethan in his only Earthquake resist immediately to take 2 instead of like just sacking the Entei and then bringing in Clamperl afterwards or something.
So here's Smeargle clicking Spore, and initially you think, oh, that must be a pretty bulky Flygon. It's not. It's Quick Claw.
We love Quick Claw Smeargle in this house.
No, we don't.
I mean, in what world does Smeargle get a Spore off twice, by the way, and let Metagross die because he thought he was safe to come in? I'm just saying.
And he goes to bed again. Quick Claw proc number 2. Which is just
awesome.
Stupid. No.
It's pretty cool.
Very dumb. No, it's not. It's dumb. Anyway, here's Vaporeon. So just going to kind of do some chip. At this point, when Flygon wakes up, the game's over. Raikou can wake up and he could just come in, and we see Sleep Talk on Lantern, which is funny. So there's no Ice Beam, nothing stopping Earthquake.
Let's say it means he doesn't have Ice Beam to take ice.
The only thing that could stop Flygon's Earthquake is this Smeargle, who I say, you know what? No, Missy, you're going to bed. I'm gonna win the game with Flygon.
Exactly.
I don't want to do this shit anymore. I'm gonna just click Earthquake many times.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, it's super hard.
A lot of damage
for you.
Yeah, it's very, very, very difficult. Flygon.
You had to work around a lot of Quick Claw hacks.
I did, and that was annoying.
Yeah, this
but at this point,
this game comes over 10 turns ago. Come on, hurry it up. I got dinner to go make.
True. Me too. So Vape is gonna clean up this game.
Yeah, no. Ethan's team certainly struggles against quite a few of your dudes here that have been brought.
Yeah,
but he does reveal HP Grass or maybe Electric on his Entei.
Yeah, HP Grass.
Which is great.
Okay, Flygon is even better than I thought.
Yep.
Which right now, Ethan does not have a ground resist at all. Clamperl doesn't count. So we're going into the next one. I'm going to go right to Delibird, ready for the Spore, because I have Vital Spirit, and instead I get Clam Pearl. So I'm going to talk about Delibird. This is my, you know what? I want to bring Delibird because he's funny. I love him. And I have HP Flying, so I could come in on like Breloom Spore, and then I could kill him with HP Flying, and it's funny. But I also have a secret technique, which is Thief. So if whatever wanted to come in after, I steal its item, Metagross's Choice Band. But in this situation, I said, oh, what if I just make Clamperl suck? So I stole his Deep Sea Tooth, and I said, thank you, Delibird. You've done what you needed to do. So please like the video for Delibird. And now it's Raikou time. So Raikou at +1. I don't actually kill. Earthquake would take me out. So I just go, you know what, let's go into Scarm.
You have no reason to stay in there for sure.
Go into Scarm, it's like, alright, I'm gonna get up my spikes. That's fine, I can get up 2. Right, get a little Protect, a little HP. It's gonna be great. Aethermiss's Meteor Mash. It's like, oh, whatever, who cares? Then I get crit, so Skarmory doesn't do much of anything. And I'm gonna get crit again.
Bro,
and attack boost. Crit, so now it's just like, okay.
Crazy.
We're like, okay. This is getting a little foolish. First, all these Quick Claw and everything. It's fine, you know. Whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah, but the biggest difference is that you got your only Raikou checked down eventually. Like, I guess this Armaldo could have Earthquake. We'll see.
No, there is no Raikou check.
Right. But he goes for Rock Blast, revealing he probably doesn't have
and then he crits on the third one,
funny.
Which is like, geez. It's just like, alright, I've had enough of all these critical hits. So now I only got Flygon and Raikou, which honestly are the only Pokemon I need to win the game.
Yeah.
These are the only mons I need to win the game.
Exactly.
So there's T-Bolt. You Rock Blast. 2.
No Earthquake.
3. No Earthquake. Even so, I live 1. Doesn't matter. Lantern comes in.
There's no way you live a 120 base power Earthquake from Armaldo. There's no way.
You'd be surprised.
Jesus Christ, Raikou. Go to OU already.
Turns out he's not great there.
Yeah, turns out everyone just runs Zapdos. Anyways, Lantern's dead.
Yep. And we're going, alright, I swear to God, this better not happen again.
Well.
It happened again.
Damn, Ethan really did turn on luck this set and got, like, no reward from it.
Yeah.
But,
so it's very annoying. So I got Raikou here. +1.
I like the mix-up in items, honestly. Alright, see you later,
I think Quick Claw is stupid. It is in line with Bespoke Screen. Can we not? Pretty cringe, but you know what? Is he gonna do it for a 4th time?
Yes,
no.
yes.
No, he's not. And Raikou is going to just kill everybody.
Yeah, I think I put Raikou on my MVPs list, right? Yeah, I must have put him.
This is the first, like, past few sets is when Raikou's really taken into his own, but he has not been the star of the show up until.
Oh, he wasn't.
Now I'm starting to get into areas of my schedule where Raikou is very, very good. So,
I think he's always been good. I just think that
haven't had the matchups for it.
Yeah, some people just have bad matchups for it. Exactly.
Yeah, so Raikou is coming into his own. He's doing great things. Same with Flygon. They were fantastic. Brian, here we go. Here's your set. Hit him on top, and it's Pikachu!
Pikachu! He's running the shiny Pikachu.
Pikachu says, I'm out of here.
Yeah. That Pikachu was not allowed to run his fun set, so he had to...
No, it was not.
But he does make the right play. Goes for...
Unfortunate miss on Wisp.
Yeah.
Just for extra chip damage. Gets parried for the trouble. There's Gorbis.
I like Gorbis.
And then had Mrs. Fire Blast on top of it too, so Houndoom's not off to a great start. Here's Jolt coming in. The rain is up, and Jolteon, he lives!
Jolteon is very tanky, and Adam knew that he was playing a gamble there whether or not I had Hydro Pump or Surf, so he did win the gamble. But it does let me get Ludicolo in for free, which is nice.
That's true. And now...
And considering that I know he's got a Blastoise, I'm going to hit HP Grass that turn and really put the pressure
100%.
on.
No reason not to. Jolt is low.
Well, not only that, but he could go into Skarm, which would be horrifying if he called that instead, but that does not want to take 2 Surfs, as we're about to see here. Except it does.
Got Drill Peck,
Skarm.
Except it does, and now the rain is gone.
Yeah,
so
now the rain is
Skarm
gone.
can take another one.
Skarm can do it, except he can't do it because Ludicolo is kind of a beast.
But look at him go.
I'll give him a go. He
Protect, did you sub?
I think I subbed.
So now he should live one.
Yeah, now he should live, which is great. So good job, Skarm, but I'm not letting that go yet. So
Yeah, no. So you
I'm
turn
going
you send out the other fun police.
yeah, it turns out that when your Skarmory doesn't have Toxic, he's pretty not threatening to Mence. So we're gonna Flamethrower in the rain, which is funny.
It is very funny.
It's the only
And
move I
then you
had to
say,
hit it.
okay, be gone.
Yeah.
Now Scar's got no attack.
He's got no attack, but he's still gonna do like 40 with his
30%.
drill
You got
plug.
spin. We got seismic toss. Ooh, I like
think
that.
I think I did have spin, but I tossed anyways.
That's fair. Toss
I'm
again.
quite scared of Dwayne at this moment.
Yeah, Regirock is looking really threatening. There's the spin.
Yeah, but I still want the spikes gone for later.
A little
Mainly
T-wave
the
with
T-wave,
Loveberry.
right? Like, I don't want to get T-waves on any of my dudes right about now, so I'm cool with the...
Yeah, and I like that Adam just goes for Earthquake. He says, okay.
I don't
fuck
like
this.
that Earthquake, I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. I like it. That's because you wanted stealing, so you thought that he would go for T-wave.
Yeah. I'm like, why would he not just T-wave me again? But I taunt. I'm not sure why I taunted, but
I guess
kind of okay.
I don't know
with
why
it.
you T-waved. Why you taunted.
Yeah.
But hey, you know what? It works out.
And yeah, Adam's broken most of my team except for Mence down at this point, and then he does the one thing that he probably shouldn't have done this set, which is sacking his Regirock.
Yeah, now Pikachu is going to do it. There's
Nice.
Thunderbolt. It's like, that's fine. Pikachu don't care.
Pikachu don't care, you got Surf. Anyways,
He got
Pikachu
Surf. He's surfing.
He's Surf.
So now just kind of playing the game.
Oh yeah, we're having fun
Jirachi.
here. We're having fun
Having
here.
fun,
He-
and Adam says, fuck
does
you,
this
here's
stuff.
sub.
Dude,
Little T-Bolt.
he did not say that to me. That's rude.
I don't know what you mean.
It is a little funny here because
Little
Pikachu does
para?
get. I was just talking to Adam. I'm like, Adam, that Pikachu's gonna static me, but no, he's actually gonna T-Bolt paralyze me instead, which is even
Yeah,
funnier.
you know, sometimes that's when it hurts more, especially
It
with
does hurt
Jirachi.
more, yeah.
No,
But I need
Pikachu
the
can't really
sub
break this
gone.
thing without a crit.
I need the sub on, so I'm gonna body slam it.
Yeah.
And then I'm probably gonna. I think I switched out here because I'm done here. But Adam wants to do. Oh no, I body slammed it again because it actually kills the Pikachu.
Pikachu doesn't really live these things. And is
No.
Steelix going to get a kill? He is. Steelix goes down.
Yeah, it's fine.
So now all of a sudden, like, Jolteon is looking a little threatening.
Yep.
You know, well, Jirachi's high in HP, so that certainly helps. But here's Blastoise.
That's the biggest choice.
Blastoise. Yep, a little bit of surf action. Jirachi can kind of hang around forever. So we're going to see a little Wish, a little T-Bolt action. Now Blastoise is in Torrent range. Crit could be a little disastrous, which is
Little rude.
exactly what happens.
Little rude.
So,
Very
not
rude
ideal.
about him. However, you know, there's blessing in disguise here. I get my Ludicolo in for free.
That's true.
And I reveal sub for the first time instead of Rain Dance. And now we're playing a 50-50 of do I Rain Dance
It's the
or do I
second time
surf
you
here?
subbed. You had already subbed.
Oh, well, I just did it again. But Adam calls a wrong play there and gets...
Yeah, sacking Jolteon
Sub.
was not the play. Sacking Pikachu might have been.
Yeah. Well, I'm recovering my HP quite a bit in this rain here.
Yeah.
I think only Pikachu can actually kill Ludicolo once it's done with its rain spam, which is a little unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
so
he has-
Ludicolo is well positioned at this point.
Yeah, behind a sub in the rain. Even if he switches a bunch, I can just set the rain again and do it for 5 more turns. So
Yeah.
the game was over as soon as Skarmory made the wrong Protect switch.
Yeah.
Or Protect call out, because he needed Protect to live a Surf that turn, because he's looking at the calc thinking I need to live that turn. But doing that cost the rest of the game.
Yeah,
But
because then
outside
the
of that,
rewind
like-
was that. Yeah.
Outside of that, he was positioned quite nicely with Jolteon not being paralyzed. It cleans up Salamence and
Yeah,
Hitmontop at that
especially, like,
point.
Hitmontop was pretty low.
Yeah.
Like, if somehow he was able to get up another spike, like, that was even more so.
Mhm.
So, yeah. I think Adam played that one pretty well. Letting, what's his name? Regirock go down. A little unfortunate, but, you know.
I imagine he might have
Pichu
been
is back.
playing. Yeah, I imagine he might have just been looking to try and like hit me before I set the rain that turn or something. But I'm keeping him honest. I need him to go Scarm that turn, even though it's negative momentum, because I do not need Hitmontop to get deleted by Pikachu.
Yeah, no, it's not ideal. And also, Adam gets all 3 layers, dodges Body Slam pair and T-Bolt pair,
Yeah,
which is
I gotta
super nice.
say,
And then, boom, right into Regirock.
Yeah, he was playing really well. I don't think I played the beginning of that set particularly nice, but
Yeah. And then the T-Waves, now Gorbis is paralyzed. Granted, it can still get up the rain.
it's not going to get up the rain because I need to make sure that I don't let Jolteon in for free at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm just slamming buttons and
lot.
damage.
Just a lot of damage. And very unfortunate Roarin for Steelix. He does not want to be here with Blastoise. It takes a lot of damage, gets a Toxic, but now Steelix has either got to stay in or play the spin game. And Steelix is going to go down. So your big electric check outside of Jirachi with spikes is down. So is Adam going to make the play go to Skarm? He is. Good play, good play. There's the spin. And you can heal off and get more spikes down, which is good. But now here's Mence. Now that the rain's not up, so there is the flamethrower opportunity to get the 2-hit. Are we going to see the switch into Regirock? We are. A little bit of flamethrower action. No burn. Good for Adam here. Back to Gorbis. We're going to see T-Wave. No. Rock Slide miss. Very unfortunate.
Gorbis is does like 20%. It's not too bad. Gorbis is really physically tanky.
It is. It's a weird Pokemon. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But now with Blastoise being in KO range, a little bit of damage with that Surf, and now Blastoise goes down. Pikachu does get free entry.
Yep, or Jolteon, whoever he wants.
Well, you guys would go with Jolt, which I don't mind. Where you see a BP, no, a little bit T-Bolt, a little Para, no Para.
Why do you want me to get Parrot all this time?
I'm just throwing it out there. Like, are we seeing this? It's not like I'm asking for it.
I think you don't like Jirachi anymore.
Jirachi is my son. And Adam once again lets this guy get paired.
Yeah,
you know,
I told him I wasn't bringing T-Wave this week, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to run the correct Jirachi set with Body Slam. And I know this is like having that Jolteon be like speedy is important, but I think more importantly, why is he not going Regirock right here this whole time?
Yeah,
why is he switching
we've seen
between
this is a physical. We're going into all these guys. It's like, yeah, you did happen to get in Houndoom scot-free. Don't Fire Blast.
Right, but like Regirock beats that Jirachi every day of the week. So
yeah. And then letting Houndoom go down.
Yeah.
Just not great.
I believe he wasn't expecting me to be faster, which is odd because I feel like Mence is pretty fast. But I know DD Mence normally
is base 100. You would be kind of silly to not just if you're gonna go with Jolly or Naive in that case.
Well, a lot of people don't run max speed DD Mence because you want to go faster only after the DD. But you got to be ready for it anyways. You got to expect, hey, my Houndoom can't take an Earthquake. I should be ready just in case that happens.
Be ready just in case, yeah. Because like you do have Skarm, and Skarm is in a position where it can't net live a Flamethrower.
Yeah, exactly. Skarm can come in for free. You don't have to select the Houndoom.
And now it's time for Ludicolo Gaming.
All right, speaking of coming in for free, here's Skarm again.
Yeah. I'm coming in. Here's Mence. We see a Drill Peck. We are a little 19%. Not going to do enough. And Flamethrower should get a kill from here.
Alex is going to Regirock, so I Dragon Claw.
Dragon Claw, yeah. It's a very interesting set with the DD.
Yep.
An EQ just for like Jolt and everything.
Yep. Simply just I needed EQ for Jolt and Houndoom, and I needed DD just to be faster than. If he got Agility, I think I would have ran Agility this week, unironically. And I put the investment in toward bulk instead of speed, but having the DD is his only way of boosting speed, so just got to do it.
I think it's very interesting that Adam is just letting his Pokemon get chipped right now.
Yeah.
There's no need to be doing it. Skarm lives. Shout out to Big Bird. But getting the Spike was not the
well, I mean,
not the one there.
Goes like 30 there probably, right? Because he's not.
It's one of those things. It's like you don't need to do it. It's like, it's nice to have, like, but you got to assess the threat in front of you right now.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately for him, there's only one thing. Like, you need to just sack something and get Jolteon. I think that's actually the play here.
But unfortunately, Jolteon is paralyzed, so he can't.
He's paralyzed. Never mind. That's right. Yep. The game is actually over.
So the game is over. Adam's just kind of getting the chip down. He's saying, "Go Jolteon, use dodge it." He cannot dodge it.
I forgot. So I'm like, why am I not Dragon Dancing this whole time? No, it's because I didn't need to. So.
Yeah. So Mence cleans.
Yeah, Mence cleans without even needing a sweep. It was a good set. I think Adam actually had a pretty good team he brought to me too. It's just the
I think if he didn't let Jolteon get paralyzed, in that second game, I think Jolteon would have gone crazy. Especially like having the spikes down and everything. You just still have to play around Jirachi a bit, but
Yeah, I'm slowly coming around to the fact that like I've got a good team, but like man, when my opponent just wants to send electrics at me like that, like my Rain Gorbis squad is just gonna get ruined if I'm not ready for it.
Yeah, for sure. Like
Jolteon being at a max speed there just wrecks it. So it was basically never allowed to come in.
Yes,
or Pikachu for example. But now we have the last set of the week, David.
Set of the week, David and Tim. We're gonna see Swampert lead versus Armaldo. Armaldo's got to get the hell out of there. Swampert can come in and just throw off a Surf for no damage, meaning that Duck is pretty specially defensive. Bert does get poisoned, and so does Duck. So a fine trade overall for both squads, I think. Especially once that sand goes up, Porygon is gonna be losing a lot of HP pretty quick. So we also see that Earthquake does 44, which is kind of wild.
That's a lot.
Because, like, you know, you expect Porygon to kind of just eat all these hits, but, like, 44% is no joke. Especially with that sand up, too. And we see HP Grass from Duck for Swampert, and Swamp's got to get out of there. And here comes Vileplume, Bleach Martinis.
That's a name.
And, yeah, I like it, and especially that aromatherapy to clear Swampert, now it can heal in sand. Which is super nice.
Sometimes I wonder if Tim would be better off just getting wish passing going around in his team, because he loves to just like chip around.
Which is funny because he's got a lot of wish passers.
I know, it's not really been a thing.
And here is Charizard, the PSAT. Charizard comes in on Blaziken like surprisingly well.
Especially when
it shouldn't,
hit
but like it does.
You have to make call out to Blaziken all the time to hit Charizard.
Yeah, that's the thing with Blaziken. You gotta be balling at all times in order to make it work. So Zard with the sub here. Suicune's kind of sitting here. We're gonna see a Surf, Charizard throwing off a little Focus Punch, and we see that is a Fizz Death Suicune.
Yeah, that is why Suicune should not be dropped.
Yeah, there's also no sand, so that does help too.
It does help, but man, only taking 16 from a Focus Punch is like, that's gross.
But it is like no attack investment Charizard too.
I know.
So Blaziken gets paralyzed for its trouble. Registeel is doing his thing right now. Just going right for the EQ and is saying, yeah, that's fine. I could take a hit. I don't care if Registeel dies.
I didn't realize that was a Blaze boosted Flamethrower doing 67.
Yeah. Wow,
Registeel's a beast.
Registeel is a beast. This is a good mon.
That's his problem. But here we get another Earthquake, just trying to clean up, and does a respectable amount to Armaldo.
And we do see no lefties.
Yeah.
So we got a Choice Band guy here.
Choice Band.
He's going to throw off that Earthquake 61%. But this Earthquake does kind of show Charizard free entry. I feel like if you're David, you got to be like, okay. I think he kind of put together that we got a Choice Band situation. Probably don't want to click it again. So Charizard gets free entry, and Tim makes the play and then gets Hitmonchanted.
Yeah, Tim doubling the Hitmonchan is pretty funny because like that is his Suicune answer because of its special defense, but he gets a crit.
No, I think he was trying to get like Duck or something.
Maybe.
But
I think Suicune comes in every time into Charizard, so like that's why you're getting it in there. But
yeah, kind of jumping the gun, and now
once again,
going to bed.
Oh, we get a great sleep powder. I'm just saying, Tim getting every single one of his mons like under 50 is like a classic thing I've seen all season.
Yeah, Tim does that a lot where it's like, oh, I'm taking damage, I gotta get out of here. But now, Amphi's gonna heal Bell, which is cool. We see a double status clear on both sides, and now Duck is ready to go.
Yeah, Duck not being poisoned is huge for David.
Yeah, we also see that Tyranitar really has not hit the field yet, because we know he's there.
It's DD Tar from Gen 4, everybody watch out!
So Swamp's back, we got Swamp versus Duck again.
Yeah, it's a shame.
We have seen the moves on this Duck, and one of those is not T-Bolt. So Charizard is very safe into this guy. Correct. And Tim makes the play, he goes right into it. He says, that's fine, I'm gonna threaten you right now.
Wow, that Ice Beam really does 28%.
So here's Flamethrower into Suicune, gets a burn, which is gigantic.
Lucky
now Suicune is losing all his HP. And I really like the sub there. Because now, Suicune's going to bed. Charizard's just kind of chilling. And we've seen that that Focus Punch did nothing. HP Grass is doing a lot.
That's the real power of Special Charizard right there. That is a 3-hit KO. On a good day.
Almost. But it's enough to make Suicune have to rest again.
And every turn Suicune does this double rest lock or whatever, he can get crit. You're just gaining leftovers recovery.
Yep, and now it's just like, you know what? It is what it is.
Yeah,
so one thing, it's like,
Suicune,
you gotta get Tyranitar in. You gotta get that stand up. You have to do it as soon as you can. And Tim did a really good job of positioning himself to where he didn't let David get Tar in.
I mean, when is Tar coming in on this team is the real question.
Zard.
yeah.
Not on the HP Grass turns, but like once Suicune goes to bed and like you see how much that the HP Grass does, you go, all right, you know what? Let's get the sand up because this is Artist healing and it's a bit of an issue.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So we see it now. Here's T-Tar. We're gonna get a sub set up. Just kind of scout and see, what kind of Tyranitar this is. Rock Slide makes perfect sense. We're subbing down. Kind of dodging a, maybe, Rock Slide will miss, If he DDs, I'm in a good spot. And there it is, the DD.
I was hoping Tim would focus punch that turn.
I was thinking it too. I was like, dude, do it.
He's gonna DD.
We're gonna see HP Grass to do 42% to Tyranitar, and we see no lefties, so we're thinking Lumberry.
Yeah, Lumberry car for sure. And Tim was pretty on the ball with that one, but we have.
And here's Charles. It's Tim's boss.
I see.
So
Get together, Charles. Unfortunately for Charles, he's taking double sand chip there, meaning he only has one more turn to get on the field.
And Swamp can come in and he can click that Earthquake, and Duck doesn't like that.
No, especially with the sand chip now.
So he's kind of stuck in that place where he can HP Grass to get the kill, where he recovers. But now you just let Gardevoir in.
Well, we finally revealed the Gardevoir as point number 1 here.
Yeah.
And
Gardevoir's in, and it's gonna click buttons.
Yeah, good T-ball, but hello.
Oh, look at this guy.
Hey, it's him.
Oh, I see a T-bolt. And David says, "Nope, I'm gonna kill you." HP bug action. Get it out of here.
Not a DD turn? That's crazy.
I'm shocked he didn't DD.
Oh, because Hitmonchan's still here. You knew. Yeah.
So, but now there is. So now T-Tar comes in and Hitmonchan goes away. No free turn. Here's Charizard, and HP Grass is gonna kill, and Charizard's gonna clean up this game.
It's awesome.
So this is really the first time we've seen Zard kind of dominate a game.
Yep, and it's a long time coming.
Yeah.
Turns out he's spooky, especially with the Blaze boost and.
Yeah. Turns out the fires have been heavily underrepresented. Yep. Granted, we haven't bulky waters have really dominated our format, but we also don't have a lot of the fires. Yeah. Please go pick them up. I want to talk more about Moltres.
Yeah, I want to talk more about Moltres too. But
so game 2.
We're gonna get a lot more waters, so it's gonna be even harder for the fires to dominate.
Yeah, for sure. So the roar. So it's turn 1, and T-Tar is now on the field. So all the shenanigans with Charizard getting his lefties in the sub, that's out the window.
Yeah.
And
it also gives you a turn to get a nice Earthquake here with the Swamp.
And you can just keep doing it,
Well, kinda. You don't really want to sack your Swampert against DD Tar.
No. But now, he gets 2 low rows in a row, which is unfortunate.
Right. And I think you could just go into Charizard early instead of having to take the 50 on your Swampert.
Yeah, for sure. But you also don't want to get Toxic. Because Zard getting Toxic is very, very unfortunate.
Sure.
So we see a Flame. No burn? No burn.
Actually, I'm sorry. He didn't even have to go out of this. We've been dodging the fact that Registeel is the most free switch into that Porygon 2 ever to exist.
That is true, yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute. That's Ice, Grass, and Toxic. That's literally the free. You don't even have to stay in.
Also, Overheat miss. Real rough.
It's rough, but it's kind of funny. Because, hey, your special attack's high still. You can do a different move.
And there's a crit Flamethrower, too, just for the trouble.
He got crit?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so
brutal.
Now Blaziken is just... He's not having a good time.
He's unfortunate. Does he? Okay, at least he keeps him around for later, which is good.
Yeah. Keep him around, go into Suicune. You want to threaten Charizard. You can kill him with the Surf. And David makes the double into Armaldo when Charizard sets up a sub, which was crazy by Tim. I really like that play. Just because it's like, alright, bet. And now I think Tim is kind of in his head a little bit. And he's like, alright, I'm going to do some
super
damage.
brave for staying in, not thinking it had Rock Blast.
It's Ancient Power and not Rock Blast. Ancient Power is a David staple.
It is, but look at that Flamethrower damage. That's brutal. The fact that it did over 50. And we're not even in Blaze yet.
True.
Hi, Suicune.
So we're stepping down into Blaze. I don't know if I like that. Just because, it's like, I get it, we get more power, but I don't know, the Suicune is a little bit of a threat. And then going into Charles works out because you get Armaldo coming in.
I'm a little surprised Armaldo came in that turn, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a little odd. That's for sure. We get a miss on the Sky Uppercut, which honestly isn't the worst.
No.
So no static.
Yeah, we're so scared of static nowadays.
Dude, static is real scary.
But static isn't the worst for Hitmonchan because he does have that Mock Punch for T-Tar at any point. But
he's going for Ancient Power, not going to let Zard switch in. I don't hate that.
It's pretty. Yeah, I respect that.
Yeah. So now Blaziken's gonna get a kill.
Hopefully.
And Reggie is the recipient.
He does. There was no world where that overheat didn't kill. Thank you.
Oh
Blaze.
yeah, no shot. And now Charizard is back in action.
They hit HP grass,
Amphi's
right?
gonna hit HP grass, saying, "All right, go Coon, I dare you."
I wonder if a flamethrower. I think a boosted flamethrower into HP grass kills Coon at that point. Actually,
it might, yeah. And then Tim is trying to be like, "All right, I'm gonna be ready for T-Tar," and then clicks return.
Yep.
Which, instead of fighting move.
We talked about the fact that you didn't need to hit return there because
there was no point.
There's
and now
no fighting with this on this team. There's no Gligar, there's no Chimecho. You didn't need to do that, but he's dead. And now all these fire.
And now Vileplume's boom. Now it's burned, and now it's all.
This is the power of Amphi. Sometimes, let's go Amphi.
Yeah, missed sleep powder. So Tim just had the 3 turns of hell.
Yeah, and that's really sometimes that's all you need when you're a T-Tar team. It's just, hey, my opponent got a little unlucky. Time to sweep.
Yep.
Even then, like, oh my gosh, like, dang. And that's
I don't know what this Blaziken special attack investment is, but like it does not do as much damage as you would think it would. It is Blaze boosted flamethrower.
It's a physical attacker with Sky Overcut. It has to be.
Yeah, but Tim makes the play. He goes for Will-O-Wisp.
Yep.
A turn too late. And
because he T-bolted on the switch in. Yeah. I mean that's such a hard play because like you can't.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do it. And now Tyranitar is gonna clean up.
Yeah, like if that Swampert didn't have the weakness from earlier, right? Like, then you can use him to defend against the T-Tar for once. And now he's no longer got the Lumberry. Maybe you can sleep him with Vileplume or something. Like there was some comeback there, but it needed to just be earlier. And obviously, like it all happened once Hitmonchan got paralyzed, went down, and all that jazz.
When Hitmonchan went down, T-Tar was on the table.
Yep.
And David played around it nice. He's always like he was in a really, really bad position, and then Tim kind of misplayed a bit with this guy. And look at this. This time Armaldo's gonna stay in and
brave Armaldo.
Yeah.
That
eat
Surf
46% and then die to Surf. So Armaldo is gone, and that was a huge chunk of damage from David's team. That's now off the table.
Yeah, it's a big power loss.
So here comes Charizard, and he's gonna get toxic. So now all of a sudden, Charizard's shenanigans aren't as dangerous.
No, and the Ice Beam breaks the sub too, as we saw. So even that's not gonna do anything.
It's very unfortunate. So Charizard's got to get out of here, and this should have been the default switch.
Hey, it's Reggie. It's Reggie too.
It's Reggie too. Use blast.
Blast. Well, that apparently means T-waving.
Now here's Gardevoir coming in.
You know, I'm honestly a little surprised it's synchronized Gardevoir.
I feel like that was a mistake.
I'm trying to think about what would have traced though. Pressure, tracing trace, been funny. I don't know. I guess there's not really a lot that it would want to trace in these 6 at least, but maybe Battle Line.
Hitmonchan is here, and he's gonna click Mach Punch and get paralyzed.
Funny.
Static works every time. It's
every time, 100% of the time.
Every time.
Anyways,
and
David just
get Fire Punch.
He can pretty much freely hit Fire Punch. Just Charizard not coming into this.
Yeah. So right here, without Tim's kind of getting gooped a little bit in this, these past few turns. We've seen Tim in the past kind of start to crumple in these situations. Or after like a string of like, my opponent's playing really, really well right now, and I'm on the back foot. We've seen Tim fall apart, but we're gonna see Tim keep it together, and
we're also gonna see David stay in with Ampharos, which is pretty brave.
Which is very brave, yeah. But we might have we seen Earthquake at that point? We probably
have. Absolutely for the Blaziken.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Although I'm looking more at his team, and he actually doesn't really have a lot of answers to Registeel at the moment.
Yeah, so you need to chip that thing.
Like at least not like he can't just freely get Blaziken and he'll take 50 or something from the EQ. But now we're seeing Chlorophyll Duck. That's funny.
This is the fastest duck.
Yep.
In the sun.
In the sun. And Bleach Martini's doing his defensive aromatherapy. I like that. No more toxic.
So now Hitmonchan is back.
Yep. No more toxic. No more Thunder Waves. Hitmonchan. No more Thunder Waves. Registeel. Life good.
Life good. And David switches into Sleep Powder.
Yeah, I feel like that one was a little obvious.
Yeah, I feel like it was an opportunity where it's like, all right, I got to get rid of Vileplume, and forgot that something wasn't asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's kind of what that feels like to me. And then we see Swampert come in on Amphi, and we see that the Amphi is faster. Maybe David didn't notice that. So now Duck is going to take a lot
He might
of
not have
damage.
expect to kill a Swampert with HP Grass, but I feel like that should.
Yeah.
Did it have HP Grass? Has it even like shown that it hasn't revealed all 4 of its moves yet?
Oh no, it doesn't.
It doesn't have okay, no HP Grass.
That's
why.
crazy.
Thunder Wave.
How do you not have
Thunderbolt,
HP
Fire
Grass
Punch,
on your Electric type fighting Swampert? That's
okay. That's why he left, and that is crazy. I think you were right.
Yeah.
Especially one that's faster.
Yeah.
Um,
So Swamp got the Great Roar, and now Suicune is paralyzed and is in Earthquake range.
Wow. Well, not anymore, right? Yeah.
Oh, and that full para was the
David,
knife
no.
in Suicune, and now he's gonna go down.
No, David, no, it's Joe.
Yeah.
That's
so everything is starting to fall apart for David. He's hoping, all right, maybe I can get a crit. But no, we're gonna see Duck go down.
Yeah, no, it's a sleeping. Yeah.
Yeah, sleeping Blaziken. It's one of those things you got to go for the DD. Tim says no.
That's a cool roar. That's a cool roar.
Yeah, great roar. He's just like, because Swampert can't one shot. It just says if he tries to DD, he's out of here. Go for Earthquake, take out Blaziken. And
Earthquake go burr.
Yeah.
All right, we do it again now, except now like. David.
I think he did do roar. No, he didn't. He just said I'll go Earthquake. Because at this point, like you have Hitmonchan to keep that guy in check.
Exactly, and you have a lot of answers.
I'm honestly surprised he didn't go into Charizard. Because, oh, there's a crit. Did we get the static? No. The one-time static doesn't work. And Charles cleans up the game.
A much better game 3 from there.
Yeah,
I mean, definitely got lucky with the Thunder, the double paralyze on Suicune.
The double para was huge, for sure.
That was a nice Vileplume momentum into win. Like,
yeah. Tim he got lucky on that sleep on Blaziken. David kind of getting maybe a little too aggressive when he didn't need to be.
Especially because Blaziken probably also had HP Grass or Swampert, so getting his 2, guys not able to switch in safely with Swampert was brutal. His only 2 that even could. So a much better job keeping Swampert healthy and around that game. Really showed off how strong he was. I think he's a little underrated.
Yeah, it's good mon. When you don't bring a lot of HP Grass, it can get out of hand.
Exactly.
And we saw that. So we're gonna go through the rankings kind of quick because I do have to get going. And Brian, I know you want to eat dinner as well.
Mm-hmm.
So top of the leaderboard, it's looking pretty similar.
Yep.
Brian and then myself and then Will doing real good. JT beat the absolute shit out of Aaron. He beat him so bad that Aaron fell to number 17 on the PR. Strictly because I think that's funny. Atomic beat Corey pretty bad. Corey definitely didn't play his best game, but that's not to discount. Atomic did what he needed to do. He showed up and he won. And Bandit number 6 got the win. It was a little closer than you'd think. So, that was a little whoo. Not too bad. And then Corey at number 7. Still, this is a great team. It's always bad days playing Mons, but it is what it is. Bounce back. I surely knows Corey's gonna have a playoff team, and he'll be up at the top soon enough. Funny enough, we actually have Hall and Ernest are basically at the same point. Did you kind of give the edge to Hall just because of the record?
Yeah, Ernest did get the win this week, and I was more than happy to say, oh, he goes above Hall and all that. And I honestly think they're both playing very good Pokemon. But Hall.
But I don't think we could discount. That was a very unlucky set.
I just think it's more that we can't discount the fact that Hall actually has gotten he has dominated some people in the past. He actually has all 5 legit wins because he got his win before the bye week. He's been playing good Pokemon.
So it now counts as a bye, but that was a real dub.
Yeah, so he's been doing good, and he has a that they could be interchangeable, but I think both are playing out of their mind, and that's they're gonna be up there.
THT was on bye, but his team's clicking. He's only gonna be stronger post free agency. Excited to see how he does. Tib has moved to 11. Just beat David. Really good showing. Shout out to Charizard, he really did it.
Yeah,
definitely some well timed good luck. at the end with those double paras, but like that's not to discount how well Tim played in that set. That was probably the best set of mods I've seen Tim play. And then David played that set well.
I don't know why that says 3 and 4. I think there could be something wrong with the doc, but
it might not have been updated yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But regardless, Dave's a good player. I think he got beat a little bit in the builder. I feel like should have been a little bit more HP grass.
Yeah. A little bit unfortunate for David this year. It's kind of a couple times we said that because like I look at his game 4s, he's gone to quite a few or game 3s.
He goes to a lot of games 3s, and then he just can't clutch him out.
So clutch soon, free agency soon. That team will jam.
Yeah, for sure. Adam at number 13. He's in most games he plays. Same with Jordan. Jordan's starting to put it together.
But having your Blissey stay on only special attackers helps quite a bit.
Yeah, so she's learning, she's getting there. And then at the bottom, we got Ethan, Dante, Aaron. Aaron is strictly a 17 because it was really funny that he got absolutely destroyed by Marowak.
Mollywop by JT.
Mollywop, real bad. Dante with the crazy showing. Sometimes it just works. Smokescreen is cringe. Quick Claw is cringe.
You want to say Blissey's cringe, and that's why Jordan's at 14?
Blissey is cringe too. Look at that! Whoa, it's all coming together.
Yeah.
But that's the rankings. It's not too different from last week.
No,
we've really started to see the delineation. We definitely see those mid-tier teams starting to put it together. I think we've seen Ernest kind of come into his own as like, hey, I'm starting to get in that upper echelon.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he's doing so good lately. I was hoping to play him before he got good.
And we're seeing THT and Tim kind of start to put it together. Like, Tim is in what we called the gauntlet of really tough schedule and was able to pull out a win, which is really good.
I think he pulled off 2 wins, right? Did he beat Hall as well or not? Oh, no, he didn't beat Hall.
No, he did not.
Nah. Well, one win over the gauntlet's pretty good.
Well, yeah, so that's it for the PR this week. Thanks for listening. We'll be back next week to talk about free agency pickups. It'll be a great time. And yeah, until then, have a good day. Go Phillies.